Welcome back to Vice Grip Lodge. We're sorry it's taken so long, but we're finally going to answer the most commonly asked.
Behind every rusty car revival on YouTube lies the heartbreaking story of Derek Bieri from Vice Grip Garage. A tale of sacrifices and resilience few viewers fully understand. Derek Bieri, now the beloved face behind Vice Grip Garage, has captured millions of hearts with his personality and genuine love for classic cars. However, his journey hasn't been smooth. Derek's path required him to make difficult choices, including walking away from stability to pursue what many would consider an impractical dream. In this video, we'll be exploring his untold story and what has made it a heartbreaking one. Come along. From corporate life to car culture, Derek Bieri's journey took an unexpected turn as he swapped his corporate attire for a mechanic's coveralls. The transition from a well-paying office job to YouTube content creator represents a pivotal chapter in the heartbreaking story of Derek Bieri from Vice Grip Garage. Prior to becoming a YouTube sensation, Derek worked as a corporate executive, wearing three-piece suits and attending boardroom meetings. Though financially stable, he found himself mentally elsewhere, thinking about cars and engines in the middle of important presentations. This internal struggle between professional obligation and personal passion became increasingly difficult to reconcile. I wanted the freedom to do things at my discretion, Derek once explained about his corporate exit. The structured environment clashed with his independent spirit and hands-on nature. Additionally, the time away from his family became a breaking point. I honestly worked 7 days a week. It got to the point where I wasn't really seeing me family very much, and that is very, very, very important to me. So, we wanted to make a change, Derek admitted. Before the world knew him as the face of Vice Grip Garage, Derek Bieri was just a small-town mechanic with grease-stained hands and a restless heart. His background as an auto technician before entering the corporate world meant he already possessed the mechanical know-how needed for his next chapter. But what he'd have was the freedom to do it his way. Every day behind that desk chipped away at the very thing that made him come alive. The smell of old engines, the thrill of reviving something everyone else had given up on. And as Hugh watched the spark in his eyes fade, a quiet voice inside kept reminding him that he wasn't meant for cubicles and conference calls. He was meant for something real, something loud, raw, and full of soul. Stay with me till the very end because Derek's story only gets more heartbreaking from here. The genesis of Vice Grip Garage came from Derek's appreciation of other automotive YouTube channels. I thought, hey, I could hat. I just got to learn how to film. Derek recalled about his initial inspiration. This realization marked the beginning of his content creation journey. Vice Grip Garage officially began buying, flipping, and restoring cars in 2005, though the YouTube channel came later. Their mission statement reveals the heart behind the operation. Every vehicle has a history waiting to be told. We're on a mission to preserve and understand that history while doing everything we can to get the younger generations involved. Derek's experience in the corporate world proved unexpectedly valuable. His organizational skills and business acumen helped him structure his new venture effectively, allowing Vice Grip Garage to grow rapidly despite limited initial resources. The humble beginnings of Vice Grip Garage reflect Derek's resourceful nature. One night, I taped a broken iPhone to a garage door and put a small block and a 4-speed in a Camaro, got it going, and here we are, he explained about his first video. This makeshift approach perfectly embodied the channel's future ethos. Without formal video production training, Derek faced a steep learning curve. He spent countless hours not only restoring vehicles, but simultaneously teaching himself filming, lighting, and editing techniques. Early videos featured minimal equipment, basic editing, and a straightforward approach, qualities that would become part of his authentic appeal. Financial constraints shaped the channel's direction toward budget builds and how can we make this thing run on as little coin as possible content. This approach resonated strongly with viewers. I'm just a blue-collar hard-working guy. I don't have endless budgets and I like to show people that you can have fun and put cars on the street and enjoy them and they don't have to be pretty and shiny or the fastest. Derek explained, the early days presented substantial challenges. Derek invested significant personal funds into producing content with little immediate financial return. Nonetheless, his persistence and authentic approach gradually built a loyal audience drawn to his unpretentious style and genuine enthusiasm for automotive resurrection, the rise and reach of ViceGrip Garage. From humble beginnings with a taped UPI phone, ViceGrip Garage has expanded into a genuine automotive media empire that resonates with millions of viewers worldwide. ViceGrip Garage currently boasts an impressive 2.3 million subscribers, a testament to Derek Bieri's unique approach to automotive content. He posts new videos every Friday, typically running between 45 minutes to over 2 hours. His success stems primarily from authenticity. Derek's down-to-earth demeanor and self-deprecating humor create an engaging atmosphere where viewers feel they're working alongside a knowledgeable friend. What truly distinguishes Derek's content is his focus on affordability. By rescuing Andreas-during classic cars with limited budgets, he demonstrates that one doesn't need deep pockets to enjoy vintage automobiles. This practical approach resonates deeply with viewers who appreciate seeing projects that mirror their own automotive aspirations. ViceGrip Garage operates as a genuine family affair. Derek's wife, Jessica, actively contributes content to the channel and supports behind-the-scenes operations. Their 3 boys frequently appear in videos, creating a warm family dynamic that viewers appreciate. In particular, Derek's youngest son, Bentley, has launched his own YouTube channel called Little Grip Garage, where he revives go-karts and dirt bikes with occasional help from his father. As Derek explains, "That's my whole goal, getting another generation involved, because when you and I are toes up in the daisies, if there's not another generation to pass the torch to, this whole hot rodding scene is done." Beyond restoration videos, Derek actively participates in automotive events nationwide. His 1972 Chevelle, affectionately named Independence, has become a fan favorite at gatherings like Sick Week. With its stars and bars, paint job, and rough but running condition, the car embodies Derek's philosophy that vehicles don't have to be pretty and shiny, or the fastest to be enjoyable. Additionally, Derek hosts the popular Duct Tape Drags event alongside David Freiberger, featuring a super chill atmosphere for people who understand cars don't have to be perfecto be fun. The event includes a dedicated ViceGrip Garage burnout pit, drag racing competitions, and evening bonfire gatherings. In 2022, Derek expanded his reach by launching roadworthy rescues on Motor Trend TV. The cable show featured Derek and others transforming forgotten vehicles into roadworthy gems, bringing his signature restoration style to traditional television audiences. Although the show enjoyed remarkable success and drew a loyal audience, behind every rusty car revival on YouTube lies the heartbreaking story of Derek Bieri from ViceGrip Garage. A tale of sacrifices and resilience few viewers fully understand. Recent reports paint a bittersweet picture. Completed seasons will continue at air, but fans shouldn't expect any new episodes to roll out. It's the kind-of twist no one saw coming, especially for someone who turned a simple love for cars into a nationwide sensation. Still, if there's one thing Derek's journey proves, it's that passion doesn't stop when the cameras do. His influence in the automotive world extends far beyond YouTube, leaving an unmistakable mark on television and storytelling itself. And to truly understand how this all came to be, how a small-town boy built an empire of engines, grit, and determination, you'll want to stick around till the very end. Because before the fame and the fanfare, it all started somewhere far quieter in the wide-open plains of North Dakota. Growing up in North Dakota, the rural upbringing that forged Derek Bieri's mechanical mindset began on May 16, 1984 in North Dakota. Far from metropolitan conveniences, his early years on the family farm laid the foundation for what would eventually become ViceGrip Garage's signature approach to automotive restoration. Derek's childhood unfolded amid the practical realities of farm life, where necessity often mothered invention. Growing up outside a small town with limited access to parts and supplies, he developed an early appreciation for resourcefulness. The farm environment immersed him in a world of tools, tractors, and mechanical challenges that required creative solutions rather than store-bought fixes. Unlike children raised in urban settings, Derek's playground consisted of barns, fields, and workshops filled with machinery needing constant maintenance. This environment naturally cultivated his mechanical curiosity. From a young age, he found himself fascinated with the inner workings of engines and machines. often watching intently as older family members coaxed stubborn equipment back to life. The practical nature of farm existence taught Derek valuable lessons about self-sufficiency. When equipment broke down, waiting for professional help wasn't typically an option. Instead, solutions had to be improvised quickly to avoid costly downtime during critical farming periods. Derek's mechanical education came primarily through two influential mentors, his father and grandfather. These hands-on teachers passed down generational knowledge through practical demonstration rather than formal instruction. His grandfather, a Catalan wheat farmer in northwest South Dakota, was known for always having a pair of pliers ready on his hip, exemplifying the constant state of mechanical readiness that ranch life demanded. Perhaps the most telling anecdote about Derek's mechanical heritage involves his father's resourceful problem-solving. When the small block Chevy engine in their combine harvester failed during a crucial harvest period, his father didn't panic or declare defeat. Instead, he transplanted an engine from their farm truck into the combine, completed the harvest, then returned the engine tow truck. This remarkable demonstration of mechanical ingenuity left a profound impression on young Derek. Throughout his youth, he continued to learn through countless impromptu lessons that shaped both his character and his understanding of how things work. He spent hours tinkering with engines, learning to troubleshoot and repair them, even when the problem seemed impossible to find. There were times when he had to make do with whatever parts were available instead of the ones that would have been ideal. And through that he developed a sense of resourcefulness that stayed with him for life. He discovered that machines, much like people, often required patience and persistence before revealing what was wrong. Each challenge taught him to slow down, observe, and trust his instincts rather than rush for quick fixes. Over time, he developed an intuitive connection with the mechanical world. A deep understanding of how each part contributed to the whole and how subtle changes in sound or movement could tell a story. Those early experiences didn't just make him skilled with his hands. They taught him resilience, creativity, and the quiet confidence that comes from solving problems through patience and curiosity. Furthermore, this hands-on education wasn't confined to North Dakota. Various sources indicate Derek also spent formative years in Minnesota and Wisconsin, suggesting his family may have moved between farming operations in the region. Growing up in sparsely populated farming communities shaped Derek's outlook in subtle but significant ways. The physical isolation of farm life meant entertainment and social interaction often took different forms than for urban children. Consequently, Derek developed a deep connection to mechanical work, not just as necessity, but as a source of satisfaction and creative expression. Farm life also meant experiencing financial uncertainty firsthand. Derek has mentioned that times could get tough growing up, alluding to the economic realities many farming families face with unpredictable harvests, weather challenges, and fluctuating agricultural markets. Nevertheless, the rural upbringing instilled values that would later define his approach to both life and business. The calm, unhurried pace of country living apparently made such an impression that Derek would eventually seek to provide his own children with a similar farm-style upbringing, suggesting the emotional benefits had derived from his childhood environment despite its challenges, growing up with next to nothing but a wrench, a will, and a wild imagination. Derek learned early that every broken thing deserved a second chance, even if it meant using the wrong part the right way. That same hands-on grit followed him into adulthood, where he wasn't just fixing cars. He was reviving memories on four wheels. This foundation in rural resourcefulness would prove invaluable when Derek later found himself rescuing abandoned vehicles with minimal tools and an even smaller budget. A hallmark of the vice grip garage approach that resonates with millions of viewers today. But what most fans don't realize is that behind those viral restorations and feel-good rescues lies a story that's far from polished chrome. Stick around till the very end because the road to Vice Grip Garage's success wasn't paved with glory. It was built through struggle, sacrifice, and pure determination, the struggles behind the scenes. Behind the YouTube success story lies a darker reality few viewers glimpse. The heartwarming car resurrections mask the personal toll that Derek Bieri endured as Vice Grip Garage grew from hobby to full-time career. The relentless demands of content creation gradually wore Derek down. Behind each video was a man working on minimal sleep, filming under harsh conditions, and pushing himself beyond reasonable limits. Viewers occasionally noticed his exhaustion during live streams. The spark in Heise's dimming despite his continued jokes and smiles. Even steel bends under pressure, as one observer noted, describing how Derek's energy seemed to quietly deplete over time. The physical toll was evident. Derek often couldn't